Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Whiteboard.
Today, we're walking you through the initial teacher training application process, step by step, all the way to the interview stage.
Our goal is to make the system easier to navigate and to turn this exciting journey into something far less daunting. Before you even apply, it's worth figuring out what you want to teach. For me, that part was easy. I already had experience in primary education, and I knew straight away that secondary just wasn't right for me. I thought about teaching modern languages for a while, just because I speak Italian. But in the end, I think primary felt like the perfect fit. So once you have decided on your subject or age group, the next big step is finding the right teacher training provider. The right fit can make all the difference. And not just in how much you enjoy the course, but in how prepared and confident you feel stepping into your first class.
So you've got a few different routes to choose from. There's the QTS only option, the PGCE with QTS, which we talked about back in episode 1, and even the teacher degree apprenticeship if you don't already have a degree. So far, the confirmed offers for the apprenticeship route are only for secondary maths, but it's worth keeping an eye out as more subjects might be added in the future. So some courses do offer a salaried position, but only if you can find a school that's willing to pay you for an unqualified teacher, as an unqualified teacher. But, with reality, budget cuts and financial pressures, many schools can't really offer that option anymore.
Exactly. So this can make things a bit harder for people who have a family like us and bill to pay. Fortunately, in the UK, you can apply for a maintenance loan and student loan to help you support you during your year-long training. There are also part-time options, which spread training over 2 years instead of one, and that will make it a bit more manageable for some people. So if you want some more information, these are available in the student finance website, and I'm sure Priscilla will put a link below.
So, if you want to find the latest teacher training courses, there are a couple of ways to do it. So, you can go online to get into teaching, because I have lots of events around the country, which you went to, Evelyn, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It was very interesting.
Yeah, and but the best place to start is the government website, which again we'll link below. And once you've found a course that you're interested in, you can check the provider's official website and read their requirements, because lots of different providers have lots of different requirements, and you may fit into one and not others, and then you won't have any surprises later on.
So then you go to fill in your application. So you will need to provide your GCSE results, a copy of your certificates, whatever school you did, your degree results, and your work experience. Personally, I only included work experience that was relevant to the course. So like my TA experience, things like that, volunteering and things like that. The form itself was quick to complete, about 15 minutes. But what really took a lot of my time, and I think for you was the same, Silla,
Mm.
um, it was the personal statement. That made me really nervous. Um, so it can be nerve-wracking to write a personal statement, but you need to have a strong personal statement because it can make the difference between getting an interview offer or not. What was your experience with a personal statement?
I remember really struggling to write that. I remember I applied for the course quite quickly, and then I got to the personal statement part, and yeah, that was tricky. Writing it, rewriting it. Then I asked you for your input and found it really hard. But for me, that it wasn't the difference between getting an interview or not. It was the difference between getting accepted straight away or not. But I didn't actually have an interview process.
I remember, yes, I did have an interview. You just
Yeah,
got accepted straight away after
I
the personal
did.
statement.
So I think again, there's a lot of weight in the personal statement, so that you really do need to make sure it highlights all of your strengths, all of everything that you feel like you can do. Highlights your experience with children, show the skills that would help you succeed in the classroom. So I would first share your reasons for wanting to teach, but don't sound generic. Everyone like, oh, I just want to help the children. Obviously, we all want to help the children, but what else? What else makes you want to teach? Um, so you need personal reasons. Then you need to show that you understand both the challenges, because there are a lot of challenges, and the rewards that come with teaching. You know, as much as it is great and everything, it is hard. It's not an easy vocation. And then also I would highlight how your education, your previous experience, and skills will support you through your training and your career. Because if you remember, this is intensive. It's intensive teacher training that we're looking at here, and you need to have a lot of skills. And then, if you've worked with children before, maybe in a TA role, in a nursery, maybe through work experience, then I would include that and explain how it's shaped your ability to succeed as a teacher. And maybe even feed into that how it's helped you to prove that this is what you want for your future.
Definitely. Like things like managing people, working as a team, leadership, and even being a mom can
Mm,
support your understanding of how you can be a teacher.
yeah, or a dad, just a parent of some sort.
Yeah. Any type of parenting. Yeah. Communication skills, really important as well. Um, all that shows how you can stay organized, perform well under pressure, and be patient as well. What else can we say? Classroom experience. If you volunteer anywhere, I will suggest to add it in. Even if you didn't volunteer in a school, but volunteer at youth center or anything to do with children, I suggest write it down in your personal statement. What's happened next? After the personal statement, you receive an email in most cases or a phone call. Depends on your training provider. I receive both email and phone call.
Yeah, I just received an email basically saying I'd been accepted, and that was that.
Wow, lucky you. I had such a long process compared to you. That's not right. Anyway, so if you receive an email with interview offer, the interview will consist in or reading a book in front of a class, or, like in my case, you will have to prepare a lesson of a subject they choose. So they give you, um, I don't know, for me was a year five PSHE lesson about what the government is. And I had to prepare a PowerPoint, bring my computer with me, and deliver the lesson, not in front of a class, which could be an option sometime, but in front of the people who were interviewing me. And I had to treat these two adults like they were children. So they were actually behaving like they were children in a class. Sometimes they were disrupting or talking to each other. And I had to stop my delivery of the lesson and um, talk to them, obviously, like children in a class, which was very strange. I struggle with that. Um, so they ask you after some question. Some of the questions they asked me were already prepared. because they sent me the question in advance. I don't remember the question, and I looked for it, Priscilla, but I couldn't find them. So I think I deleted the email, unfortunately.
That's a shame because it would have been interesting to know what the questions
I
were.
know, and I can't remember at all what they asked me. I try, to think about it, and I looked everywhere, but zero. I have no memory of it. And then they asked me other question, like the reason why I chose that specific provider, why I want to be a teacher. So some of the things I said in my personal statement were the question I was asked. Even safeguarding question like this, yeah, I had as well.
I think safeguarding's quite a standard question, isn't it, that will come up in any
Yeah.
interview that you do throughout your schooling life. Like, safeguarding is such a big part of school.
Yeah, it's very important. So definitely they will ask you this all through your career in a school. Even as a TA, they ask you this question.
Yeah. I remember even my first ever TA interview, I was asked a safeguarding question.
Yeah. I think I was too. Yeah. That was so long ago.
Yeah, 6 years for you. So my experience is a little different, but equally nerve wracking. So I remember actually being at work. So I'd been off work and I'd applied for the teacher training position. I'd done the personal statement, had you check it, edited it, and then submitted it. And I was in work one day when I got an email. I got one from the government, I think, like of the government email address, and one off my provider. No, it wasn't. It was off my academy actually that said I'd been accepted. And I didn't have to do an interview, but there was like this kind of informal get together where I went down to the location, the hub, went in, sat down, and I thought then, I was like, so is this an interview? They're like, no, we just want to talk to you, make sure you know what you're getting into, get an understanding about you, and yeah, you have like the degree, the experience, and everything else that's needed. So you're on board anyway. Anything that you don't know, we will provide a test for, like maths. I just do a maths test. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that. That was hard.
So hard. I think I took about 2.5 hours to complete that.
Roughly, yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It was very hard. So I had to do a maths test. I haven't had to do an English or reading test yet, or science, which is interesting. Did you do those?
So at the beginning on the provider website, there was a maths and English test, but they were more similar to GCSE. No, sorry, not GCSE, SATs test, yeah, like
Yeah.
year six. But later on, I had some subject knowledge test to do,
Mhm.
and I had to choose because they teach secondary as well, so there were a lot of different subjects. So I had to go to primary and then complete that, which had science, math, and English.
So you had to do quite a lot more testing than I did.
But all this subject knowledge, they're not really tests. They're just to know my level of knowledge that I have. And then every gap that I have, my mentor will read those tests and help me cover the gaps that I have.
Yeah, that's the same for me. They said it's not really a test; it's to see where you need to get up to speed with the curriculum, basically. Because obviously, we being primary, we need to be fully understanding of the whole curriculum.
Definitely. You need to have knowledge of everything.
Yeah. So let's take a little break, and after we come back, we'll talk about how long you had to wait before they confirmed your acceptance. Okay, so Evelyn, how long did you have to wait before you knew that you'd been accepted?
They told me actually there and then I was accepted just after my interview. But it's like it's not a sure acceptance. So you are in the course, but if you can't provide all the information they need, they can retract the acceptance. I don't know if I'm explaining myself clearly.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So they asked me to provide all documentation needed and DBS from Italy to check if I have previous record, one from here, then I had to pay for. And after I provide all the information, then they say, "Oh, congratulations, you're gonna be in the course starting in September." And they send me all the information for the induction day. What about you?
So I knew basically as soon as the email came back that I'd been accepted. But like you, I had to send off my certificates twice, once to my provider and once to my academy. So GCSE certificates, proof of a degree, and then my DBS. You had to pay for yours,
Yeah,
whereas mine I didn't have to pay. So that's where our providers definitely differ. Um, I just have to take mine in with me on the first day. Well, it's the third day. My first 2 days would be inset, and then on the third day, when I'm doing my big intensive bit, I have to take the DBS in with me then.
to take my
Um,
DBS in, and I forgot.
oh,
Yeah, I forgot it. So they're supposed to call me back and give me an appointment before the 1st of September so I can give it to them.
oh, you haven't heard anything?
I text them and they said nothing. They just say we will let you know, but then they never go back to me anyway. So we'll see.
Oh, that's really interesting, isn't it? So are you going to take it in with you on your first day back?
Well, I don't think I need to take it to my school because I was working there anyway. So the school know I have a DBS, so it's not a problem for them. But they want my training provider. They need to see the DBS than I did with them. So most probably when I go to the next induction, which is on the 3rd of September, I think, I will take it with me.
Yeah, I think we both have our. Do you have inset days on the first and the second?
Yes, first and second is the day, third, the kids come back. So actually, my induction is on the 4th, the day after the kids come back. I'm a bit worried because I don't know what to expect. I don't know how is it gonna be the first day with the children. Am I just gonna observe the teacher the whole day? I don't know.
So yeah, I'm also very worried. I would. I think definitely in episode 3 we need to talk about the first weeks and what they're planning to look like.
Yeah. Also, I think it
Um,
also depends on your mentor. How's your mentor and what your
mm,
mentor expectation are? Because I know you can start teaching from the beginning, and it's not something that your teacher provider um, expect. Then you teach from the beginning. But if you want to, you can because I asked.
are you going to?
I would like to, but my mentor is not in favor of that.
Okay, see, I'm on the opposite side. The idea is fantastic. I would really love to be teaching, but because I am so nervous about the whole situation, I'm not going to. I'm going to take it slow.
Yeah, I think you start with the 30%
Yeah,
at the beginning. So you do a lot of observation. And there is a thing for me, I don't learn by observing people, I learn by doing.
yeah.
I get really distracted when I just look at someone doing something. I get bored and distracted, and I don't assimilate information. But if I'm doing things and I make a mistake, and the person tell me, okay, that's the mistake you made, and I rectify it straight away, that's how I learn. So I'm struggling with the fact that my mentor would like me to observe a lot at the beginning,
Mhm.
because that's not the way I learn. So, I don't know. I'm really worried.
I think it's going to be fine because we know the environment, so you really know what to look out for.
That's true.
And we want it so bad that I think actually it's going to be all right. While it might feel like a lot to become a teacher, well, to get onto the course for teacher training, it's all part of the process, and it does make sure you're ready to teach. I think, yeah, there's still quite a lot more to add to the teacher training process that we've haven't covered, like disability allowances and things like that.
True. Because we apply for a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done a lot actually, and I think one of the things to really put out there is don't leave it to the last minute.
Yes. Try to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think I did my student finance application about a week before you did yours. Is that right? Or was it a month?
No, yes, you did it 2 weeks before me, because my teacher training provider didn't send me the information. So I had to wait for them to send me the information, the code for the course and all that before I could apply. You did it as soon as they open.
Oh, as soon as they opened, and I think having done that, it's made the whole process quite smooth. Like I feel like I've definitely had enough time to get everything in order, everything into the right place.
Yes, definitely. I was getting a bit worried, because they were not sending me any information. But yeah, it's okay. I got my acceptance letter for student loan in May, so plenty of time.
Yeah, there was plenty of time. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. We hope this gives you a clear picture of what to expect when applying for teacher training and preparing for your interview.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check the links we mentioned, and remember, every teacher starts exactly where you are now. Keep going. You got this.